Hello and welcome to the SACCO Inside podcast, where we are amplifying people's voices. My name is George Ombado, the Executive Director of ACOSCA. Thank you. Welcome to SACCO Inside, where we are amplifying people's voices. Today we are honored and privileged to have an episode on Ushirika celebration. Ushirika is a word for in Swahili meaning cooperatives. Cooperatives all over the world have a celebration on the first Saturday of July. Today we are honored to have a global leader, a national leader, who believes in the spirit of cooperative leader by heart, is currently the ICA, International Cooperative Alliance of Africa, Vice Chair. He also sits in as a chair of Cooperative Alliance of Kenya, which is an institution that brings in all the cooperatives in the Republic of Kenya, and currently is also the Vice Chair of the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, one of the critical institutions supporting the financial sector in the Republic of Kenya. We are pleased to have Macloud Malonza.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And he's also a DE. He's both Africa DE and
the Canadian DE.
And Canadian DE.
Yes.
So we are having a true leader who believes, practice, and believes in nurturing cooperative institutions to do the right thing for our community. We are pleased that we are having you in this particular episode. As we all know, 2025 has been proclaimed by the United Nations as the International Year of Cooperatives. What will you say is the role of the cooperative in advancing economic inclusion in Africa? And I'd like to look at it in three forms. Looking at women who tend to be excluded, young people who are not feel excluded, and the rural population. Africa, our continent, which at times can be considered more agriculture-based. What is our role as cooperative sector?
Okay. Thank you, George. And yes, 2025 is a year for cooperatives by the UN. And the cooperatives, like in our country in Kenya, forms around 35% of the GDP. And there is a lot of advancement that has been availed to different groups by the cooperative movement. First of all, from the financial cooperatives, agricultural cooperatives, especially like if you look around, the coffee production is starting to get momentum in this country. People already started their fruiting, but because of being put together in cooperatives where markets are being made available for them. Now a kilo of cherry is almost getting to 200 shillings per kilo, and that is because of the power of the cooperative movement. Cooperatives also allow the young people, the ladies, because there's no discrimination. The principles of cooperatives, everybody has an ability to join. We have the merry-go-rounds, we have the chamas for the ladies. Some of them have started businesses. And money has been made up, financial support has been made available for them to start various activities. The youth, they are not left alone, because a cooperative movement is also trying to bring everybody on board. It is actually being declared a family affair, so that a father joins and then the other members of the community join to become a member. So that means that you start becoming a member at a very early stage. Globally, we are at around 1.4 billion, but we want to look at that number to around 50 to 60% in the next 5 years to ensure that every person speak about cooperative movement.
I like that as a global leader, you are just reaffirming that the cooperatives is a model of inclusion. And even by the example you illustrated are clearly about inclusion. What will you say in terms of inclusion, sustainability, and why is our model or cooperative model different from any other model in terms of empowering people in an inclusive manner?
First of all, our model has been perfected by the 7 principles of cooperative, just the basic 7 principles. And one of them is democratic member control, which means if you join, you have an opportunity to be a leader in that movement. And therefore, it doesn't leave anybody out, whether you are educated or not. Number 2, the cooperative movement also provides an opportunity because of pooling resources, the ability to allow people to save and also get financial support for anything that they want to do. And the fact that there are no barriers, it doesn't mean that if you are not educated or you are fiscally challenged, you cannot join a SACCO. That provision is there. Number 2, cooperatives are everywhere. We can't say they are in urban areas, they are even to the lowest level. And any economic activity for any community in Africa that they do can also be taken care under the model of the cooperatives. Even when you talk about beef, if you talk about fishing, if you talk of cattle rearing, if you talk of bee hives, all of them have been aggregated together in cooperatives. Number 3, all those aspects happen in the environment. And cooperatives have been able to come up with solutions for smart agriculture, for sustainable. And because they are being grouped together, even the world is trying to see that cooperative is a powerhouse. And they are being included now in the policy. Now, that aggregation of all the SACCOs is giving them a market for themselves. In every region, they share those values to make them come together. And that is what brings them together. That is the difference from the other business model. We are just economical. Nothing else is for profit. Yes, but here there is the social upgrading of the people who are members, because the money is used to come back to them. They will get financial independence. They will also get money to invest. They will also get information about markets where they can get their products. The ability even to be together and also share information about the global trends, about business, sets the cooperative model apart from the other business model, which are just economical model.
Well said. Our proposition value is quite strong. What message or strategy can you advise other countries, not just Kenya, because you represent the continent, that we can effectively use smart ways to run our cooperatives, and also for the producer cooperatives, how can we reduce inefficiency costs when we use smart ways of doing things?
First of all, technology is very, very advantageous to cooperatives because it brings the market near the farmers. They are able to know the prices across the globe at a flash of a button. Number 3, the smart agriculture, which you can even be knowing what kind of breed or what kind of a product that I need to have as a farmer from region, even to know the soil composition, which is going to give what kind of yield of a product. Number 3, there is a lot of information and knowledge sharing within the innovative ICT platform for all the SACCOs. And I'm seeing a lot of competitiveness in terms of knowing what the other cooperatives are doing, what other worlds are doing. All the SACCOs, what I can advise them is to ensure that they invest in technology so that they can ensure that even the young people we are saying that they don't want to join SACCOs, they will be attracted to come into the SACCOs, because with technology, everything is possible at any given time.
How can we synchronize and have data that will be able to help us advocate and speak out on the power of the cooperatives? Because what you mention it because you are as a leader. I don't know if the information around the power in terms of those numbers are reaching out to people, particularly at the grassroots. What should leaders do in the continent to see that we have the right information?
Okay, one of the issues is that I want to start by what is happening in this country, Kenya. The shared platform which is going to come in, it's going to, first of all, to be a very big advantage to the issue of data and sharing and the information about the cooperative movement in this country. And one of the key issues which has emerged, even at ICA-Africa, is about the data about what is this movement we speak about, especially in every country. That data needed to be documented. And we are pursuing to ensure that we can have a data center within ICA, or a collaborative between ICA Global and ICA Africa to ensure that that data is made available. We've gotten a lot of support from the government to ensure that that information is there. Now, the second issue is about talking about the movement. The Minister of Cooperative in this country and Marketing and Development is doing a lot of work now. Last week we had a meeting with the Minister, and there's a lot of changes, but what we are looking at, people don't talk about the movement, especially the figures. You know, you'll be told we are 12 million, 14 million, but I can tell you, to me, the figure of members of who are in circles or in the movement is almost double that figure. And a lot needs to be done. Now, the leadership also needs to speak about it. Needs to speak about the movement in terms of achievement. Policy making. We need a lot of advocacy for us so that the government can call the movement to sit on the table to ensure that they advocate and say and showcase what we have.
What a rich conversation on SACCO Insight. Our speaker today is trying to emphasize that we need to amplify the voices of the cooperative. We cannot do it better if we don't have the right data. We are going to have the celebration of International Cooperative Day, what we call Ushirika Day, with the theme driving inclusive and sustainable solution for a better world. What does this mean, sustainable solution for a better world?
Okay, thank you very much. And I think this year's theme of inclusivity, that speaks volume. And every country in this world, what they are looking everybody to be a player in any economic activity which is being taken in any country. And for SACCOs and cooperatives, that has been an issue because, of course, there are people who don't have employment, they don't have income which they can participate in an economic factor. If you bring everybody on board for the business model in the cooperatives, which transact from everybody, because young people, the middle, ladies, men, the old, the young, the youth, it means that for even that country, it will have a very easy way in terms of planning for resource allocation. If you bring people in the movement and include them in the business, in the decision making of cooperative, first of all, you are creating leaders. You give them an opportunity to be leaders in their own businesses that they have started. Number 3, you are creating markets for them on the products they do. If it's cattle, they can know where to take their meat and their milk, or even the hides and skin, where they will take them. Number 3, information about the world, because it's going to be a shared platform where people come in circles and they can know what other circles are done. Because we have our umbrella body like ACOSCA, which is there for exposure program, like the work which is going to be in Sweden just in July. That gives the cooperative sector and everybody who is in that cooperative sector and then information about how you can better and be a better leader or a better person. One of the key issues which has been there is we talk about poverty in this country, but the poverty is not just because people don't have money. It's also opportunities. Opportunities are not there. What else can people do? In cooperatives, we have leadership. People pull their resources together to do what one person cannot do. You are opening for everybody. There is technology. People will get markets, will get information, will get even the issue of what else cannot be done within this sphere to ensure that the population. Number 3, just to get a space where you can go in the evening, like a retired person who retired maybe 5 years. What does he do? If he's a leader in a cooperative, he will have somewhere to spend his time and also apply the knowledge that he did or he learned when he was working. So this inclusiveness gives us an opportunity to bring everybody on board. And as you plan, you are planning for everybody.
I like that you've introduced issues around solar, and that gets into our conversation on climate. The challenges that we face today are not only climate. What are the disruptions that have affected the world in the last 7 years? We have COVID.
Yes.
So in the context of COVID, climate, what have you seen the cooperatives play a role in providing solution? I know, for instance, the cooperative bank and cooperatives, even during crisis, they were still able to serve their members. What can you say about this in times of crisis?
Thank you, George. Cooperatives, especially, let me start with the COVID. COVID was a game changer, and it affected every business. And some businesses which closed, they will never come back again. There are people who had some financial support, and the business, the stock you had, it goes, and that's it, the end of you. But there is no cooperative which closed because of COVID. They are there, very strong and going. And as you've said, the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, which is a premier institution in this country, were able to pay dividend even under that time. And even as a regulator, the central bank in Kenya stopped institution from paying dividend for sustainability. Cooperative bank was exempted because they realized where that dividend and what it means to the lowest people. Now, what the lesson we learned from those disruption, including the wars like the Ukraine war, is that cooperatives need to be more innovative. They also need to include research in terms of their doing business, and also prepare for long term, not for short term now. They'll be looking ahead maybe 20 to 30 years, 10, 20, 30 years, because a disruption like COVID can happen, and we don't know what kind of a form it will take. But if they are very agile, invest so much and include everybody, the chances of them dying, they are very limited, because it's not about money. It's about an ethical business. So a lot of innovation, a lot of benchmarking to ensure what are the other people do. There are countries where rain does not come. If there's no rain, what do you do? And how do you ensure that you sustain? So first of all, innovation. Number two is capacity building for their membership. Excellent.
The power of cooperation. As a parting shot, I'd like you to speak to the continent. From Ghana, where unemployment rate is high, Nigeria, where unemployment rate is high, Uganda, unemployment rate is high, Kenya too, unemployment rate is high, and many other countries in the continent of Africa. You go to Abidjan City, Ivory Coast, you'll find the same scenario. Tell the world, particularly Africa, that cooperatives, as the way we illustrated, can be a vehicle to empower them, and what they need to do to be involved in the cooperative sector.
The cooperative movement is there for those who cannot get employed. And we are looking to assure that the young people, you don't have to be employed to be a member of a cooperative. And that is going to give you an opportunity to do any meaningful economic idea and ensure that you make and you also create value for your country. I know in Africa unemployment is the thing, but even now when you go to the marginalized areas, there are people who have never gotten employed, but they joined circles, starting an economic activity through the cooperative model, which does not require any more capital investment. That gives people an opportunity to solve their problems and alleviate their poverty, and also address the challenges that they are facing as a social group. In Africa, the way the cooperative movement is growing and the advantage we have over it, it is now starting to get to the core value of every community. And that is why out of all the countries in Africa, at least 44 belong to cooperatives. And 75% of all the members are members of a cooperative because of the ability to start a venture without requiring capital. It's just an idea, innovation, If you are planting your cows, you can form a cooperatives which will give you market, give you good prices, which will also give you market where you can sell them, and also bring people together. Because people, when they come together, they have ideas. So cooperatives is the way to go for Africa.
That marks the end of our episode on the cooperative celebration. We had a global leader who is currently the chairperson of Harambee Sacco, which is the fourth largest Sacco in the continent of Africa. He is also sitting in as the chair of Cooperative Alliance of Kenya, and also sitting as the vice chair of the Cooperative Bank, and now is speaking to the continent as the vice chair of International Cooperative Alliance of Africa. Thank you that you joined us and for sharing your insight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.